Hello and welcome to this special broadcast on the eve of Advantage Assam 2.0. My guest today is Dr. Ranjit Rath, Chairman and Managing Director of Oil India Limited and Chairman of Numaligarh Refinery Limited. One of the top geoscientists of the country, Dr. Rath is an alumnus of IIT Bombay and IIT Kharagpur. Dr. Ranjit Rath, welcome to this special broadcast.
Thank you very much, Wasbir. It is a pleasant having me here. I'm so glad to be part of your discourse in Northeast Live.
My pleasure to have you here. We are sitting down to talk this evening, Dr. Rath, on the eve of Advantage Assam 2.0, the mega infrastructure and investment summit being initiated by the government of Assam under the leadership of Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma. Now, when we talk about business and industry or business and economy since independence, we have only been talking about oil and tea and later, of course, gas. But today, we are talking about aerospace and semiconductors, we are talking about defense manufacturing, we are talking about IT, we are also talking about flavors and fragrances. Now, my question to you, Dr. Rath, is in this backdrop, do you think the oil industry in Assam and the Northeast will be able to consolidate and continue to be one of the key drivers of the economy in this region?
Let me tell you, first of all, the excellent initiative being taken up by Honorable CM of Assam in terms of offering to the whole world the advantage of to be in Assam. And we are so glad that Honorable PM is going to inaugurate this event. We are putting up an excellent stall of Oil India and NRL to showcase what Oil India and NRL is doing, not only in the state of Assam, for the entire Northeast and the country at large. Answering your question, the kind of spectrum which today Assam offers, the kind of opportunities today which Assam offers is phenomenal. It's very natural that we will continue to have more such opportunities, more such wide spectrum. But to tell you something, given the fact that Northeast of Assam has been the first discovery of oil in this part of the globe, and given the fact that India with 140 crore people around, the hydrocarbon story is continued to be the mainstay. And with 250 million metric ton of refining processing that is happening today, we would always continue to be an energy hungry country.
Absolutely.
With energy hungry country, with Assam having so much bountiful of resources of oil and gas, we strongly feel oil and NRL will have the major anchor role to play in the state of Assam and in Northeast, and for which, while Numaligarh refinery is under capacity expansion from 3 million ton to 9 million ton, Oil India is on a growth path of not only enhancing production, but also doing more deeper drilling as part of our exploration campaign.
Absolutely. Now, when you talk about the new avenues that Oil India Limited itself is going into, now, I understand that Oil India Limited has achieved some kind of a major breakthrough in Assam. You have discovered oil in the north bank of the Brahmaputra, which is something new because so long you have been doing it only in the south bank of the river. Tell me something about that. That's a big thing.
So first of all, let me tell you at Oil India or as a petroleum sector, we are very, very elated with it. But I will not tell that this is a discovery per se.
Okay.
Technically, it is establishment of a reported presence of hydrocarbon in Northeast, in the north bank of Brahmaputra, because there is a testing of flow rates, testing of the resource position, testing of the reserve position has to be done in terms of declaring it as a discovery.
Okay.
However, given the efforts that has been given over a sustained period of time, this has opened a new vista of exploration, for which we are not only drilled a well of 4,400 meters in the north bank of Brahmaputra, and as we know, all of us, that the entire south bank of Brahmaputra we have lots of discovery and producing fields.
Right.
But we have established hydrocarbon, we are following it up with more well drilling in Northeast, north bank of Brahmaputra, to establish, and possibly it will be one of the good discoveries, but time will tell.
Now, this is a very interesting thing that you said. You are drilling 4,400 meters. Now, when oil was discovered here more than a century ago, you used to go only about 50 to 100 meters deep. So, from that point, you have come to 4,500 meters. So, that is technology is speaking itself, isn't it?
Wasbir, I'm so happy that you are asking this question, and I want to tell the entire audience who are watching us.
Right.
When it started in 1889, that was the first well we drilled in Digboi, and we discovered the depth was about 50 meters. And today, as we speak, we are producing from our Mechaki 6 field, that's 5,400 meters.
Oh my God.
Mechaki 7, we have established hydrocarbon, huge stacks of sandstone with natural gas, 5,700 meters. We have drilled the deepest well in this part of the globe, 5,800 or 5,900 meters in Sadia, and we aspire to go deeper.
Absolutely. Now, very nice to hear that. Now, obviously, my follow-up question will be, what about the possibility of establishing, I will use your word, establishing hydrocarbon on the bed of the Brahmaputra? Okay, we are talking in the offshore.
Absolutely. You are bang on. That's what the geologist in me tells, that if you have so prolific south bank of Brahmaputra and we have established hydrocarbon, it's but natural we would tend to believe that there is hydrocarbon beneath the Brahmaputra bed. Therefore, Oil India Limited has now adopted 2 more additional technology driven drilling campaign. One is called extended reach drilling, wherein we will target below the Brahmaputra bed by drilling vertically and then horizontally, so that the ecosystem or the ecology of that particular sensitive zone is not disturbed. Similarly,
so this is a breaking story. Your Oil India Limited is going to look for oil on the bed of the Brahmaputra.
Yes, time will tell that. We are going to drill ERD well. Further, to reduce the footprint of our drilling efforts, we are also now initiated a campaign called multilateral drilling, wherein from a single plinth, we are going to drill 3 to 5 wells, and all the wells can be operated. And the letter of award has already been given. So in Barekuri, we are going to adopt it.
Right. Now, you see, I mean, you are a very passionate oil man. Now my question to you is, how do you reflect? 1889, more than 100 years ago, oil was found in Assam. And today, as we are sitting here, we are talking about drilling to establish or find hydrocarbon under the Brahmaputra riverbed. How do you reflect?
Wasbir, thank you very much for that passionate term for me, gracious enough. Now, we strongly believe that Oil India Limited has got the best of the assets in this part of the globe. Assam self, which is the category 1 basin, is the number 1 out of those 7 basins under category 1 basin. It's prolific, and I must salute to all those indomitable spirit explorers who established first discoveries and discoveries and discoveries by drilling deeper. So when we established hydrocarbon and we are producing today from the Eocene formations, from Lakadang Theria as they call it, we are now targeting deeper horizons, and we have been successful. We have been successful in Mechaki, we have been successful in Kusijan, and we are going to drill Sadia well. That's what is our effort, and we are hopeful to striking more resource positions and more reserves for India.
Right. Now, talking about Oil India Limited, you have about a year ago, you have got the status of a Maharatna company, earlier you were a Navaratna company. Now, Oil India Limited last fiscal, you saw registered a growth of about 5.5 to 6%.
Yes.
Yet, India continues to be a heavily dependent on oil imports. Now, you have set a target of only 4 million tons of oil, crude, and about 5 billion cubic meters of gas.
Correct.
Now, don't you think you have a lot to go?
We have a lot to go because there are 2 things which comes on the way. These are all mature fields. We have been producing from these fields 60, 70 years. So there is a traditional, conventional decline which happens in the production. So that decline is about 10 to 12%. So when Oil India as an E&P company reports a growth story of 5%, that means on top of the decline it is reporting 5%. So therefore, the aspirational target of 4 million metric ton of crude oil is, I am using the term aspirational, but as we drill deeper, we would definitely reach there. The gas story is a bit different. As I speak, additional infrastructure development is happening. Indradhanu gas grid is getting connected to the source, to the consumers. So with more infrastructure coming in, we are going to have more gas wells. And I must tell, since I am speaking in Advantage Assam on the pre-evening, and we are talking about northeastern part of the country, as part of our commitment to northeast or northeast part of the country, for BCPL, Oil India is targeting to drill 15 wells, depot wells are that, to ensure availability of rich gas. That's what is our gas story.
15 deeper wells, existing ones or new ones?
New ones.
Ones.
Now I must compliment, and I should use this platform, that Government of India has brought out this beautiful policy wherein as national oil companies, whether it is ONGC and Oil India, we would get a premium of 20% on the price of the gas, which is $6.5 per MMBTU for the new gas. And
right.
We are doing well. This allows us to experiment and explore deeper.
Right. Now, you see, as you said, we are talking on the eve of the Advantage Assam Summit, where you are going to speak in the presence of a galaxy of people from India and abroad. My question is, you see, what possibilities do you see in Assam and the rest of the Northeast as far as investment is concerned in the petrochemical sector, let's say methanol and formalin-based sectors? What are some of the possibilities of investment?
You have asked a very pertinent question. As an integrated energy company, because Oil India today is having NRL as part of its major subsidiary, but Oil India has also got stakes in various other units in Assam, say Brahmaputra cracker and polymer.
Yeah.
Our interest is to protect and supply assured rich gas to BCPL so that it keeps producing. Assam Petrochemical Complex, that's what is a JV of Assam government and Oil India, where Oil India continues to supply gas and it produces methanol. Now more story. From NRL, we have kind of not only looking at an expansion of 3 million ton to 9 million ton, we have also already taken an FID for 360 KTPA of a polypropylene unit. So as that's about another 7,000 crore worth investment on top of 34,000 crore as part of our refinery expansion.
Right. You see, both Oil India Limited and Numaligarh Refinery Limited, these are two companies which are very dear to the people of Assam.
Yes.
Oil India Limited has always been very dear to the people of Assam, because that is the company that has been providing employment. When private company is producing the same amount of oil, will be recruiting maybe about 500 to 600 or maybe 1,000 people.
True.
Oil India Limited has more than 10,000 people or more on your rolls, because that is your way of helping the people of Assam. Even if you don't need people, you have people, if my understanding is right. Now my question is, when NRL expands, as you said, from a 3 million ton to 9 million ton, we understand this thing are going to happen as early as the end of this year.
Yes.
How is it going to impact as far as the employment scenario, or how is it going to contribute to the India's oil production?
Look at it.
It's
like this.
Refinery. End product.
I would put it in a manner that it's not that Oil India or NRL we are doing any favor. It's very natural that this is our local community engagement is at the highest standard, because the kind of nature or the portfolio that we hold, we reach out to the people. That's one aspect. In terms of employment generation, as we speak, last year Oil India drilled 38 wells, then we drilled 45 wells. Last year we have drilled 60 plus wells. This year also we are going to drill something like 60 plus wells.
The 60 plus wells you have drilled where? Across
India. But about 90% of them in Assam or in northeastern part of the country. So that brings in additional investment. This year, from an Oil India point of view, our committed investment is about 6,800 crores. As far as Numaligarh is concerned, look at the derivative chemicals or derivative super specialty chemical possibilities which will emerge after the refinery expansion happens and the petrochemical complex or polypropylene unit happens. But most importantly, Numaligarh, we have also taken a very flagship decision, and a flagship initiative is underway under the clarion call of Honorable Prime Minister as part of import substitution. You said so during your initial opening remark. Numaligarh, we are putting up one of its kind 2G ethanol project, which is bamboo based. The agrarian economy of northeastern part of the country, or in
So-
Assam specific, is going to flourish.
The entire feedstock is going to come from Assam. That is bamboo.
Absolutely. 300-kilometer radius. The entire feedstock is bamboo. So it doesn't come between any food for fuel controversy. And the plant, as we speak, is under pre-commissioning. Maybe in about 2 months, we'll have full-fledged commissioning.
Now, if I understand correctly, that biofuel plant,
Yes.
that ethanol based, you are going to produce 50,000 metric tons, which
Thou-
may be
correct,
which
1,000
may-
tons.
Yeah, which may not be a very big amount, but it is going to send out a message that you are serious about producing biofuel.
No, we are aligned to the Government of India's priorities towards blending of ethanol in MS, that's petrol. And I would also say very happily that the target that Government of India had given to itself through the oil marketing companies to meet 20% blending, will be part of it.
So, at the end of the day, there may be a time when we can see flexi vehicles running on the streets of India.
It has already started running. Globally in mainland India, it is already doing. Now, till now it is all 1G ethanol which was happening, and this will be a 2G ethanol success story.
Right. Now, you know, Oil India Limited, you have signed a deal with Petrobras to, come up with, oil and gas exploration. That's a big deal. But what does it mean for the Assam and the northeastern region? What kind of an impact is that this deal that you signed with Petrobras is going to have?
I'm glad that you asked this question. Under the leadership of Honorable Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, we have something called a flagship event called India Energy Week.
Yes.
So the last India Energy Week,
We
which
covered
happened
it. Our people were there.
Yes, February 11th to 14th. Oil India signed an MOU with Petrobras, which is the national oil company of Brazil.
Yeah.
The intent is, going forward in the OLP bidding round of 10, we would explore possibility of jointly bidding for the deep and ultra deep water exploration in the north, in the offshore region of Bay of Bengal and in Andaman Basin. So end of the day, it is a growth story for oil.
Yeah, but what was the need to sign this? I just want to understand. I'm not criticizing it. Now, I'm just trying to understand, what is it technology because of which you have signed the deal with Petrobras?
Look at the path-breaking reform which Government of India did to unlock the erstwhile no-go zone of about 1 million square kilometer in the exclusive economic zone of India, both east and west coast and in Andaman Nicobar Basin. These are all deep and ultra deep water. Just to give you a flavor, while on onshore we are drilling about 5,000 meters, the drilling that is going to happen in Mahanadi Basin will be 2,000 to 3,000 meter water depth and then another 5,000 meter. So that's the level of exploratory efforts which is underway. Now for that, we need international collaborations. Brazil is a pioneer in deep water exploration, and Petrobras is doing so well. So we were very, very happy, and in fact, Honorable Minister Petroleum and Natural Gas led a delegation to Brazil, and because of his intervention, this collaboration could happen.
Now, we are talking about exploration. Exploration seems to be linked with oil prices. Now, oil prices continue to be extremely volatile. It's not stable at all. So, is it going to impact on your exploration efforts?
As a national oil company, I would say that we are very well poised because we have onshore assets which is doing well in terms of our production efforts, and going forward, we would look at lot of collaborations with national oil companies. Now, while one would undertake exploration in deep water, as currently Oil India is doing so in the Andaman Nicobar Basin, and we are going to drill 4 wells. The committed investment is about 2,500 crore. As we speak, we have already touched 3,000 meter plus in one of the well. We will also have hedge our risk through collaborative efforts wherein both technology will be available and risk will be shared.
So, you are also drilling in the Mahanadi Basin?
Yes.
Now you see the natural gas, coming to natural gas, the present whatever we have, it's only contributing to about 7% of the energy needs, 6 to 7% of the energy needs of this country, although the country and oil industry has set a target of 15% by 2030.
Yes.
Is it achievable? And if so, how?
I would say that aspirations, if it is achievable, then it's no more an aspirational target. So we are doing a lot of multifarious activities to meet that target, which is one is enhanced exploration to produce more natural gas, that's number one. Creating an evacuation infrastructure. So, as part of the Northeast Hydrocarbon Vision 2016 for 2030, which was released in 2016, where Oil India has given the anchor responsibility, we are not only doing more production efforts, we are also participating in Indradhanu Gas Grid Limited.
Okay.
Let me share with you something very interesting that we are doing in Assam. We have connected through a pipeline our Kumchai field in Arunachal, a 60 kilometer plus, to Kusijan near Duliajan.
Okay.
So today we are evacuating natural gas from Arunachal Pradesh and giving it to the customer of Assam.
Okay.
And this way,
it's a 60-kilometer pipeline.
60 kilometer pipeline. And this way we are also reducing our flaring component. And just to share with you August audiences, recently we have done another small step in terms of creating natural gas storage as well, which is helping us to kind of offer a kind of buffer solution. And most recently, under the leadership and advice or direction of Honorable CM of Assam, we had a very good interactive session with the tea manufacturing associations, where Principal Secretary to Honorable CM was the chairman, and we spoke to the tea garden associations to suggest them and go for a fuel switch from coal to natural gas.
Okay. That is something very, very significant. Now, I am jumping from one question to another only for the lack of time.
Please do it.
You see, the country has set itself a target of achieving net zero by 2038 or 2040 by expanding the non-fossil portfolio. Now, do you think that is a tough task to achieve?
The way recently during the IEW, Secretary Petroleum and Natural Gas unveiled our ESG strategy, and as part of the Government of India's clarion call, Oil India's net zero target is 2040, and we are working on various portfolios. And recently Oil India created a Oil India Green Energy Limited. We have signed an MOU with Government of Assam as part of our solar photovoltaic renewable energy portfolio. We are also pursuing compressed biogas plants, and I must tell you about 5 of them are going to be located in Assam. Tinsukia is the one for which tender is already out. We are working on green hydrogen plants. We are going to put up a 10 megawatt green hydrogen plant near Dibrugarh, and in a similar manner we are also creating alternative energy portfolios in terms of creating opportunities in geothermal energy.
Now, another thing that strikes me where the Petroleum Ministry has also given a lot of focus is the role of the startups.
Correct.
Not just in Oil India, even in Numaligarh Refinery Limited, startups are playing a very interesting role, like looking into the safety aspect of people by identifying whether people are following the correct protocols or not while engaged in the hazardous conditions. Now, some of the startups are producing hydrogen based products and so on. So, what is the role of the startups really? I mean, are you enthusiastic about it?
I'm very enthusiastic about it. I'm very convinced about it. This is a flagship event of Government of India, and you would have noticed in IEW 2025, Honorable Minister felicitated or awarded startups, and in which Oil India startup also got awarded or recognized. 2 startups which I will mention. There are many which we are promoting. One is a robo to clean the sludge within the tank farms where crude oil is stored.
It's already in operation.
It's already in operation. Second, one of the startups.
How is to do it earlier?
It was you would actually open the valve and then get inside. It's so painful, and it takes time. Today it's a robo. Second, which NRL is doing as part of our green fuel initiative to support supply of enzyme and create alternative business scenarios and to reduce competition as part of our Assam Bioethanol Private Limited initiative. We are also working closely with startups to develop enzymes. It's currently at TRL 5.
So, enzymes, I also understand that people are working in even genome sequencing to come up with the right enzyme or whatever.
Absolutely. And we have got good collaboration with IIT Guwahati on this.
Absolutely. My final question to you, Dr. Ranjit Rath, is do you think Assam is going to be a big player in India's oil and gas story now that you have set your eyes on the north bank as well as the bed of the Brahmaputra?
I can assure you that Assam will continue to be one of the major players in the hydrocarbon story of the country, both in upstream, midstream, downstream, and in the derivative specialty chemicals.
Absolutely, Dr. Ranjit Rath.
Thank
it was
you
a
very much.
pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
and
for
thank you for having me.
Pleasure is mine.
Thank you.
News to keep you ahead. Evening